Hey guys, how's it going? Brad Riley here, founder of the Accelerator Company. And in this video today, I'm going to be going through how you can close social media management clients in 2020. Now, just before we jump into the video today, if you are new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss another upload. And also what I'd like to do is invite you to check out a free 7-day trial to my personal and private mentorship group, where you're gonna get full daily access to me as your mentor and all the other crazy training and benefits that we have in there. Again, you can get your free 7-day trial by checking out the top link in the description. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So what I want to do in this video today is break it up into 7 different steps for you to be able to actually build and run a successful social media management business. Now, the first tip that I have for you is almost the foundations here. I need you to understand the real selling points behind social media management before we progress any further, okay? So the first tip for you is to understand the selling points of social media management. And for most people, and this may can actually take a lot of people by shock, but getting sales is not a selling point from social media management, because for the most part, posting on social media, writing captions, scheduling out content, doing a bit of growth, which is essentially what social media management is not going to directly translate to an abundance of sales overnight. It's not going to happen. It is a much longer term play for businesses than a short term, direct, tangible ROI play, all right? So you need to understand that before you go into businesses, start promising a bunch of sales, and guess what? The sales don't come in, and because you've promised it, they're not getting what they expect, and then they leave. Okay, that's bound to happen. So understand the selling points for management, which are building brand awareness, building top of mind authority, okay? Making sure if you're posting every day, you're staying top of mind over competition. Building brand. You know, if you've got nice looking posts with the logo, the colors, again, it's going to associate that brand with that company. Building an actual online presence. Again, this is another important thing. When people go onto social media and they search for a company, and if you don't show up, but let's say let's say it's a restaurant, right? And you type in chicken restaurant in London, and your competition comes up and not you, but they're looking for a chicken place to go in London, guess what? You've lost that potential customer. So it's important, again, that you're staying top of mind, you're building brand awareness, and you're also building that social media presence and that stuff that you can help with. Another selling point is that you can take it off their hands. You know, social media management, you need to have a social media presence. A lot of companies, well, every company needs a social media presence, but it's time consuming. So that's another selling point for you. And you know, when you speak into your prospects, you can say this: well, I can take this completely off your hands and save you a bunch of time so you can focus on growing your business. Again, that's another selling point. And the final real killer point here, which is one of the most important, is you're building traffic that you own. You know, if you help grow a social media account to say 10,000 followers, every single time they want to reach those 10,000 followers, they own that traffic, meaning they own those 10,000 followers. They can make a post at any point about a new offer, a new release, a new product, a discount, a sale, whatever. And guess what? They can make a post, it doesn't cost a cent in ad cost, and it's gone out to all of their followers who already know about the business. A lot of them are previous customers, they care about the company, and it can lead to sales. You own that traffic, and you don't need to spend money on ads to acquire some customers from it, because you own it. Whereas with paid ads, it's paid traffic, right? To reach those potential customers, you have to spend money. Now, both have their benefit, don't get me wrong. Both have their benefit, but that is one of the key selling points, is that, okay, look, you actually own this traffic, so at any point, once we build up your followers, we can reach them for free with a simple post. So yeah, understand the selling points, and you know, obviously make sure you set fair expectations. Now, the second piece of advice I have for you when it comes to starting a social media management business is to focus on higher intent leads. Now, this couldn't be more true for this service. Because there is no tangible ROI, you know, meaning you're not able to just go like with Facebook ads, right? Or like Google ads. You can come in and you can say, look, we can help you generate more revenue. That's a huge selling point. So when you're reaching out to cold leads saying, look, I can help you make more money, it's an easier sell. When you're reaching out to cold leads and you're saying, I can help you build your social media presence, it's not gonna hit them as much emotionally or logically, meaning it's gonna be harder to sell colder leads. So more than ever with any service that you offer, focusing on warm lead sources and higher intent leads is never been more important. It's gonna be really difficult to reach out to businesses cold and try and sell them on social management services. It's gonna be real difficult to do that. Whereas if you go on sites like Upwork, recruitment sites, okay, if you go to the content search bar on LinkedIn and you find people who are actively looking for help with social media management, you're gonna have more success with this business model. Because then you're going direct to people who are saying, look, I know this doesn't give me a direct ROI, but I just need this taken off my hands. Come and help me, okay? It's like you're making it harder for yourself if you go and do cold outreach. So especially with this business model, focusing on those higher intent leads is really, really incredibly important. It's gonna make all the difference when it comes to you increasing your revenue. Now, the third tip that I have for you, which is closely related to that one in the higher intent leads, is an action step for you right now. Go and get yourself an account created on Upwork, People Per Hour, Guru, Freelancer, TopTal, all of the freelance sites. Go get yourself accounts set up and created and position yourself as a social media marketing or a social media management expert. You know, if you've got previous examples of work, great, chuck it all on there. Build it out as much as possible. List the services and things that you can help with: caption writing, replying to comments, scheduling posts, content creation and design, hashtag strategies, whatever it may be. List the services, build out your profiles, and position yourself on these freelance websites as a social media management expert. Two things are gonna come of this, right? The first thing that's gonna come of this is you're gonna be able to use that profile to do outreach. The second thing, if you build an attractive enough profile, you're gonna have leads and prospects come to you. I've had social media management clients as big as 3K a month approach me before, wanting to work with me, just because I've got a half decent profile on these freelance websites. So do not sleep on that, because all of a sudden you put yourself in a power position where you have leads coming to you. It's really going to be important when it comes to long-term scale. You know, if you don't even have to do any outreach, your business is still growing, that's when you're onto something. So yeah, build out these Upwork, Freelancer, People Per Hour, Guru, freelance accounts. Position yourself as a social media management expert and then start doing that outreach. Now, the fourth tip that I have for you, again, onto these freelance websites, is how you can do the outreach. So we're gonna use something like Upwork, as that's the main freelance website right now. By far the best. I've tried them all, tested them all. Upwork is without a doubt the best when it comes to getting clients. What you wanna do, very simple, is go to the search bar after your account's created, after you position yourself as an expert, go to that search bar in the top corner, hit the search bar and type in social media management. Type in social media marketing, and see the thousands and tens of thousands of jobs that come up. Find jobs that are a good fit, click them and reach out to those businesses. It's as simple as that. So step 4, very simple, do outreach. Go to the search bar, change up your keyword search, find jobs who seem like a good fit for you and reach out to those warm leads. Once you do that, you're gonna get those responses that you can then set up calls and close those deals. But you know, all of this, like all of these steps are really important, but if you don't do this step, you don't do number 4 and actually do any outreach, you're not gonna close any deals. So once all this is set up, spend the majority of your time doing outreach, because if you do that, you're gonna get better results, because ultimately you're focusing more on things that are actually going to produce revenue for your company. So the fifth thing and the fifth step as part of this process is, once you do this outreach on these freelance websites, you're going to start getting some responses. And when you start getting responses, the next step for you is to set up meetings. Now, I've got a few bits of advice here for you, but the first one being the most important is push for a meeting as soon as you possibly can, ideally within the first message. So if you're on these freelance websites, you're doing the outreach and then you get a response. John the barber pops up. Hey Brad, I'm interested in working together. Hey John, great. I'm really glad to see that you're interested in working together. Are you free to hop on a call this week? I'd love to share some ideas with you. Boom, call to action in the first message. Strike whilst the iron's hot. They're interested, get them on a call as soon as possible and try and close that deal. If you do that and you push for those meetings, like within the first 1 to 2 messages, you're gonna have a higher success rate when it comes to turning those prospects and those messages into actual closed deals. So step 5 is to set up meetings. Also, sometimes as well, prospects will turn around and say that they don't want to hop on a meeting or they don't want to have a phone call with you, which is fine. In which case, proactively push the sale forward using messages instead. You don't have to always have a phone call. Now, it does help, but if a prospect has said, oh, I haven't got time for a call, or they don't want to hop on a call, fine. Push towards the close, find out information and all that stuff on Messenger instead. And that's another beautiful thing about freelance sites, right? So you can close deals without ever talking to people on the phone. Sometimes it's just that easy, right? So yeah, step number 5 is push for meetings as soon as you possibly can and try and progress the conversation towards the close. So the 6th step that I have for you today is, once you've got those meetings set up, you've got really interested prospects, the next step for you is to price your services, close the deal and onboard the client, okay? Now pricing, ultimately that's a whole different ball game, okay? I've got videos on the YouTube channel about that, so be sure to go and check those out. So I'm not gonna go too much into pricing today, but price your services, come to an agreement, negotiate if you need to, and agree upon a price. Once you've agreed upon that price, the next thing you need to do is to actually close them and get that commitment. So send the invoice, send the job through on Upwork, get them to settle that payment as soon as possible, because the sooner that, again, they settle that payment, the more likely the deal's gonna go through. Back to that whole strike whilst the iron is hot, right? Because the issue is business owners get really goddamn busy, okay? Real busy, especially if they've got a bunch of stuff going on. So it's very easy sometimes for deals to fall through, even when you're right at the end on that close phase. It's so easy for deals to fall through if you're not proactive, because guess what happens? Life gets in the way. Business owners get busy, they get distracted with other tasks, and all of a sudden now, onboarding you and working with you is fallen slowly down the priority list because they've got all this other stuff to do. And then sometimes a deal can fall through because of it. So once you've got that commitment and once you've actually got a price that you've agreed upon, send through the invoice, get that payment, and then from then, as soon as you got that payment, send them your onboarding link, get them through your onboarding process, get them into your Slack channels, and be ready to start executing, okay? That whole process needs to happen as soon as possible. The second you've got a green light on price, you get that commitment straight away, get the payment, and send the onboarding link, get them onboarded into your business, get them in your Slack channel, and be willing to take action. The quicker that whole little cycle there to get them onboarded and paid, the more likely you are to close a deal, okay? So strike while the iron is hot. Make sure you price your services, come to an agreement, get a commitment like a payment, sign a contract and whatnot, and get them onboarded onto your business. Now, the seventh and final tip that I have for you today is to delegate the work to your team if you have one, or if not, begin the service delivery yourself. Now, this tip is really important, and I want to preface by saying if you don't plan on having a team, I personally think that's a little bit of a mistake. You're gonna hit a ceiling real quick if you're trying to handle all your social media management clients yourself. You're gonna really hit a point where you're not able to scale. Like, I've been there before. I only offered social media management for the first like 6 months in my company, all right? And there was a point where I was probably sitting at somewhere between like 10 to 15 clients, but I was handling it all myself. I was doing all the design, I was writing all the captions, I was scheduling all the posts, I was doing all the growth, replying to some of the comments for some of my clients, okay, where we'd agreed upon that. All of a sudden, I had all of these clients and I had no time to focus on getting more clients. And on top of that, I was completely burnt out because I was working like 18 hours a day, not sleeping right, not being healthy, because I was just all in working in my business. So where possible, and I highly recommend you do this, get your social media management automated. Now, if you are interested, as mentioned, I have the free 7-day trial to the Entrepreneur Accelerator. All of my Entrepreneur Accelerator students have what's called the contractor wall inside, where you get access to 2 of the social media managers that I actually use in my business. Now, the great thing about this is they're really talented, but they're super cheap. So if you want to go ahead and join in the Entrepreneur Accelerator, I can give you immediate access to those guys. You can use them and input them and start automating your social media management in a professional manner with somebody you can trust right away. And I really recommend you do that, because if you buy back that time, you can then allocate the time you've saved on doing more sales, doing more outreach, and ultimately scaling your business. And also, it's nice to have free time. Like, if you want to be able to go on holiday and relax, you can, and you're not kind of shackled to your business to that respect, okay? Real important. Step 7, start doing the service delivery, delegate that work to your team, and again, start getting crazy great results for your clients. And then guess what? Repeat the cycle. Now, hopefully you found a bunch of value in this video. If you did, be sure to drop a like. Once again, if you are interested in joining the 7-day free trial to the Entrepreneur Accelerator, I invite you to check out the top link in the description. After the 7-day free trial, it is only $29.99 per month, which is crazy. You can see all the amazing benefits you get by clicking on the landing page and clicking on the link. But there's all sorts that you get, right? Like weekly advanced training masterclasses, weekly live calls, you get personal access to me and my team. We've got a bunch of PDF resources, a bunch of additional training. There's honestly so much in there. It's ridiculous value for such a low cost, because my goal with it ultimately is to help people who need guidance, who need a mentor, but can't necessarily afford 2, 3, 4, 5 grand a month for like a personal one-on-one mentor. You still get full access to me and all the other crazy benefits. Free 7-day trial, and then it's only $30 a month. So yeah, check that out, top link in the description. I look forward to seeing you there. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section down below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.